My name is Joya Kaiser. My company, Casa Unlimited Enterprises, has been a concessionaire at Sky Harbor for 30 years. My parents, Aaron and Yolanda Kaiser, started here at Sky Harbor with the opening of Terminal 4 back in 1989.
Gregory Torres, Torres International. I've been a part of America's Friendliest Airport since 1999. My family business, Azteca Wedding Plaza, have been a part of the community for over 70 years.
My name is Lachelle Mangum. I am President and CEO of Lamb Holdings. I've been in the airport concessions for almost 9 years.
My name is Sonia Anderson, and I'm an ACDBE here at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport since 1990. We started with a TCBY yogurt franchise, and later we went to a Cold Stone Creamery, and after that an Einstein Brothers Bagel, and at the present time we are a La Madeleine Country French Cafe.
My name is Tammy Coe. I am a baker in town. I've been in town for about 25 years. What it means to me to be at the kiosk at Terminal 4, at Sky Harbor, it means everything. It's the best thing I've ever done, and I did it on my own. It's been very rewarding because it's given me my self-worth and identity outside of the pastry world, but people come and get my food and they enjoy it.
My name is Bruce Mosby, and my company, Mosby & Company, Inc., is ACDBE certified with the City of Phoenix. We've been here in the airport for about 7 years now, and I own and operate Two Pete's Coffees here in Terminal 4. The ACDBEs are small business owners from the community, and these are individuals who have run businesses and have brought into the airport perhaps their own concept, or maybe they're doing like I'm doing and they're operating a national brand. We have a very accomplished group of ACDBE small businesses. We have about 18 of them, and there was a time where here in the airport we only had 2 or 3. So we've come a long way with our ACDBE program.
I am Gonzalo de la Molina, operator of Cerveza's Taco Shop at Phoenix Sky Harbor. I've been an operator out here for 7 years. ACDBEs are a critical component to the aviation ecosystem. You think about airlines, airports, cargo carriers, and concessionaires. We are the fourth leg to the table. Airports and ACDBEs are linked. We're connected at the hip. Airports receive Airport Improvement Program dollars, AIP dollars, from the FAA to the tune of billions of dollars a year, in exchange for grant assurances that they will execute an ACDBE program. Our success is our airport success to continue to receive those unrestricted grant dollars on an ongoing basis.
The ACDBE program is a federal program that allows opportunity and equalization for local businesses, primarily women-owned, ethnic-owned small businesses. They allow them access into this market, which historically was only operated by large master concessionaire type of companies.
So local ACDBEs here in Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, we actually represent the fabric of Arizona and the city of Phoenix. Our concepts are typically local concepts that bring the city inside of Sky Harbor.
My name is Teresa Dominguez, and my husband Frank and I are owners of Maja 3 Art Inc., an ACDBE doing business at Sky Harbor International Airport. And how did we get here? In 1995, we left our island home of Guam in hopes of becoming and fulfilling a dream of becoming entrepreneurs. So in 1997, we invested our life savings in a little gallery art shop in the old Terminal 3.
Since 2013, the ACDBEs have invested multiple millions of dollars into capital expenditures at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport.
Being here at the airport and being an entrepreneur, being a woman, doing it by myself is it drives me to be more and better and great, and trying to strive to be the best. And that's what I do every day. When I push my cart down the concourse, and when I mean my cart, I mean totes full of food to go replenish my case, It makes me feel amazing. And it's my food. It's the stuff that I've created. It's my recipe. It's just everything about me.
My name is Amy Silberschlag. My husband and I co-founded Cartel Coffee Lab 13 years ago in a warehouse in Tempe. We've been fortunate enough to be part of the airport community for the last 7 years. COVID-19 has been detrimental to our industry, to our business. It came to a screeching halt overnight. We had to lay off 90% of our employees. We had to close stores. We had to just stop and evaluate and pivot and figure out how we could possibly move forward while keeping everyone safe, and just the weight of the responsibility to provide for our employees and their families and continue to serve our community.
At the beginning, we had to furlough 92% of our employee workforce. We're now back up a little bit, up to 50%, but those are the months that have been very difficult for our associates. That is one of the things that I have valued the most in being a business partner here at Sky Harbor in the last 23 years, and that is making our home and our team a family, our associates and our management team. And they are very important to us. We have some very tenured people, anywhere from 7 to 23 years. The other impact that we've had because of COVID-19 has to do with our local suppliers and vendors who provide our artisan goods that we introduce to the local public here, or traveling public here at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. And some of those local vendors that we do source out these products from, we feature right here at Roosevelt Row. And it is one of the very many stores that has been closed since March because of the pandemic. And because of that reason, we will not be able to open this store. It's one of many stores here still closed at Sky Harbor. 61% are still closed.
We could have never predicted something like this. And quite honestly, we thought we had seen the worst of it with 9/11, but this far outweighs the impact that 9/11 has ever had on this industry.
During 9/11, employments and traffic dropped by greater than 55%. This year, March, during COVID, we saw a 93% drop in traffic. 8 months later, we still have only 39% of the concessionaires open. And those of us that are open, sales are down greater than 50%.
The hardest thing about COVID is I am an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner, and I know that the people that work for me need me to give them hours. They need me to take care of their family, because it isn't just a matter of an employee, but I know that they have little ones, and I feel responsible. It's sad. It's very sad.
Silvana Salcido Esparza, chef owner of Barrio Cafe. 18 years on the street, and proud to say 7 years here at the airport with Barrio Cafe as well. You know, that devastation that I'm talking about on the streets, it is even worse at the airports. As a women-owned minority restaurant, and a lot of them here are exactly the same way, minority-owned, we're suffering horrifically. And if you look around, everything's closed, and it's just a reminder of the devastation that's going on. And everybody's hanging by a thread on the streets, but we have more willing participation for people to come to go, take the food to go. But here you don't have that option.
It is absolutely expensive to do business in the airport. If you compare it to a street side operation, it might cost them in the neighborhood of $50 to $100 a square foot to build. In the airport, it cost us north of $500 a square foot.
As local small business ACDBE partners here in Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, one of the greatest challenges is financing. If you look behind me at the Refuge Coffee, Food and Wine, this restaurant is 640 square feet, but it actually cost us over $500,000 just to build it out.
Build-outs and capital expenditures in airports are extraordinarily expensive, 3 to 4 times what they would cost on a normal street location. The challenge for many of the ACDBEs is that those assets are not collateralizable. And as a result of that, we have to personally guarantee the loans in order to secure the capital to do the build-out.
In addition to that, we have to lien our homes, and it puts a big stress, a big burden on our shoulders.
Oftentimes, ACDBEs have to resort to non-traditional sources of financing. And when they do that, often what comes with it are higher interest rates.
With that, that means that we're a cash flow business since we have no assets. So cash flow is dependent on passengers. We like to use the word employment, the number of people getting on planes. That's 100% what we build our business model around and 100% what drives our business. Without the passengers, a drop of 50%, 40%, and on the day we closed was 98% drop in sales. We can't service the debt that we owe to the bank.
Our current business model is not sustainable as it stands with COVID-19 and this pandemic and our unprecedented times that we're going through. It will not work. We can't survive like this. We are going to need a lot of help from our banks. We're going to need to extend our contracts to give us more time to pay off our debt services, which are surmounting. Regardless if our stores are open or closed at this point, our debt services are still due to our banks.
Given this pandemic, our options for help are very limited. Our banker, who we've been with for 30 years, have financed all of our projects here at Sky Harbor, has outright told us there's no opportunity for us to get funding through them because our cash flow is so low and our risk is so high at this time.
You know, the city has been so forward thinking and allowing and bringing forward all these small businesses, including myself. There have been times when this airport has saved me on that month. True story. And to watch the airport be a ghost town is heartbreaking. We all have to team up to combat COVID and to survive together. You cannot have recovery if there's no survival. And recovery comes after survival.
This is the problem. What are we going to do about it? You know, there's the solutions. It's the elephant in the room, the doom and gloom of, well, there's a big loss of revenue, and that's the problem. And, you know, then bringing back the staff, that's the problem, because I can't afford it. I can't, so we're running very low. So the solution that I think possibly would be to do a percentage rent so that we can survive. I mean, because the flights aren't there. And then also an extension of our lease.
One of the silver linings of the pandemic, I believe, is to see how the community, the business community, is joining together, vendors and landlords and bankers really working to find solutions. But the business today is not sustainable the way that it is. The things that would really help us would be continued percent rent and an extension of our contract so that we can have time to pay back the loans and obligations that we have.
At this point in the pandemic, we are very much in survival mode. We need ongoing percentage rent through 2021, and we need lease extensions so that we can pay back our loans that we have personal guarantees on.
Our ask is that we extend this contract and give us percent of rent through 2021 so that we can survive and make this the greatest airport that the country has seen, as we've already experienced #1 status. We want to continue that. And the way that we continue that is to work with our small businesses, give us our extension, and give us percent of rent. And that we can all be successful together.
So you've heard from a lot of our ACDBEs today. And what we can tell you, what I can tell you, is that our business model currently is not sustainable. We need to have additional time and support from the Phoenix City Council in the form of continued percent of rent lease through 2021 and also extensions of our contracts so that we can be able to refinance for the future and to make it through these times.
You're looking at a lot of small brands that have been at this airport starting 7 years ago. And now with the new terminal, it still continues to be local brands. And the small guy doesn't have the money to carry anything. Well, actually, the big guy doesn't either.
I'm truly grateful for Mayor Gallego, the council, Charlene Reynolds, and the entire aviation staff for working with myself and all the other ACDBEs to achieve the goals that we're trying to achieve during this pandemic.
We thank the city and the airport for all the help you've given us this last 30 years, and we thank you for anything that you can do for us to get through this.
Our airport has been rated #1 by J.D. Power, and we look forward to a continued partnership with all of you, the airport, the city council, and all of our ACDBEs to make this a continued great airport.
Thank you to the Mayor Gallego as well as the City Council for listening to us and hearing the plight that we are in as small businesses.